Hi there, welcome to Data Lab Work Channel. Have you ever wondered about the legitimacy of certain publications and journals? Today we're exposing a dark side of the academic world. Predatory journals, the hidden trap in academic publishing. Brace yourselves because what you're about to learn might shock you. Predatory journals, a term coined around the late 2000s, are pseudo-academic publications that exploit the open access model for their own profit. In other words, predatory journals are wolves in sheep's clothing. They prey on eager researchers, offering a quick and seemingly legitimate route to publication, often for a fee. But don't be fooled. The sad truth is, these journals provide little to no peer review or editorial services, undermining the very essence of academic integrity. The so-called peer review? It's a facade. Predatory journals seldom have a qualified panel of experts reviewing submissions. Instead, they accept almost anything regardless of its quality or authenticity. This isn't just a minor hiccup in the academic publishing world, it's a growing problem that threatens the quality of scientific research. The existence of these predatory journals dilutes the pool of genuine research, making it harder to distinguish between sound science and poorly conducted studies. In the next few minutes, we'll dive into the world of predatory journals and learn how to identify them. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss important updates on topics like this. Knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you. Well, let's get started. So, how can we distinguish a predatory journal from a legitimate one? Well, let's start by understanding what makes a journal predatory. At the heart of scientific publishing is the peer review process, a rigorous evaluation of a research manuscript by experts in the field. This ensures the quality and validity of the research. Predatory journals, however, often lack this crucial step. They may claim to perform peer reviews, but the reality is far from it. The absence of a thorough peer review process is a red flag, indicating a potential predatory journal. Reputable journals are proud of their rigorous review methods. Another common characteristic of predatory journals is the presence of deceptive editorial boards. Legitimate journals have editorial boards comprised of recognized experts in the field. Predatory journals may list individuals as members of their editorial board without their knowledge or consent, or even create fictitious board members. These practices are designed to lend an air of legitimacy to the journal, fooling unsuspecting researchers. Now, consider the publication times. In the world of research, the phrase "slow and steady wins the race" holds true. The peer review process, revisions, and final approval can take a considerable amount of time. But predatory journals promise quick publication times, often at the expense of thorough review and quality control. This quick turnaround is attractive to those looking to pad their publication list. Unrealistically, fast acceptance and publication times are suspicious. Legitimate journals require time for thorough review. Also, many predatory journals charge publication fees without providing the editorial and publishing services associated with legitimate journals. They may not disclose these fees up front, only revealing them after acceptance of the manuscript. Remember, the goal of legitimate scientific publishing is to advance knowledge through the dissemination of high-quality, rigorously reviewed research, whereas predatory journals undermine this by prioritizing profit over quality. If you're bombarded with unsolicited emails from a journal you've never heard of, think twice. Reputable journals don't spam researchers. Predatory journals often cover a wide range of topics, from medicine to philosophy, without a clear focus. Another characteristic of predatory journals is low-quality website. Typos, grammatical errors, and a generally unprofessional appearance are strong indicators. So, be vigilant. Recognize the signs. Look for a clear and thorough peer review process. Check the credibility of the editorial board. Be wary of unrealistic publication times and undisclosed fees. By being aware of these telltale signs, you can steer clear of predatory journals. Remember, your research deserves better. It deserves integrity and genuine recognition. Don't fall for the trap of predatory journals, where your work might end up in the hands of no one but scammers and fraudsters. Another trick up the sleeve of predatory journals is the use of fake impact factors. To fully grasp the weight of this deceptive practice, let's first break down what an impact factor is and its role in academic publishing. The impact factor of a journal is a measure of the yearly average number of citations to recent articles published in that journal. In simpler terms, it's a way to gauge the relative importance of a journal within its field. A high impact factor generally suggests that the research published in that journal is frequently cited and, by extension, influential in its field. Now, predatory journals exploit this system by manipulating or fabricating these impact factors. They do this to appear more credible and reputable, to attract more submissions, and ultimately, to pocket more publication fees. One common tactic is to claim an unofficial impact factor, one which is not assessed by the recognized authority, Clarivate Analytics Journal Citation Reports. Some predatory journals even go as far as creating their own bogus rating systems, complete with impressive-sounding names and logos, to fool unsuspecting authors. Another method is to exaggerate the journal's citation count. Remember, the impact factor is calculated based on the number of citations. By inflating this count, predatory journals can artificially boost their impact factor. The catch is, these citations often come from low-quality articles or even from the journal itself, a practice known as citation stacking. These manipulations are not just unethical, they are a disservice to the academic community. They mislead researchers into believing that their work will gain the recognition it deserves, only to leave them with a publication that carries little to no weight in their field. So when evaluating a journal for your research, it's crucial to verify its impact factor. Check it against recognized sources like the journal citation reports. And remember, a high or non-verified impact factor should raise a red flag about the legitimacy of a journal. Predatory journals often resort to spam emails to solicit submissions. These emails can be slick and persuasive, but they also carry telltale signs. One of the most common characteristics is a generic greeting. It might say "Dear Researcher" or "Dear Colleague" rather than your actual name. A legitimate journal usually addresses you directly. Next, watch out for flattering language. Predatory journals often try to woo you by praising your work excessively. They might even promise swift publication or guarantee acceptance, which, let's be honest, no reputable journal would ever do. Lastly, they create a sense of urgency. They might insist that you need to submit your paper immediately or miss out on an extraordinary opportunity. This is just a tactic to pressure you into making a hasty decision. So, how can you avoid falling victim to such tactics? Be vigilant, do your research, and most importantly, trust your instincts. Remember, reputable journals don't need to spam researchers for submissions. You might wonder, what's the harm in publishing in a predatory journal? Well, let's dive into the potential pitfalls that can result from such a decision. The first and most obvious risk is the loss of your hard-earned money. Predatory journals often lure researchers with the promise of quick publication, but at a hefty cost. These fees, often called article processing charges, can sometimes run into thousands of dollars, with no guarantee of the quality or reach of the publication. But the financial cost is just the tip of the iceberg. Arguably, the more significant risk is the potential damage to your reputation and credibility. In academia, the old adage, "publish or perish," still holds true. But where and how you publish can be just as important as what you publish. When your work appears in a predatory journal, it may not go through a rigorous peer review process. This lack of scrutiny can lead to the publication of flawed or even fraudulent research, which can seriously harm your reputation in the academic community. Your peers may question your judgment, your research integrity, and your commitment to high-quality science. Moreover, once a paper is published in a predatory journal, it may be nearly impossible to remove or retract, forever tarnishing your academic record. Additionally, these journals often have limited readership and are not indexed in major databases, meaning your work is unlikely to reach a wide audience or contribute to your field's body of knowledge. The potential career damage doesn't stop there. Future employers, funders, or collaborators who discover your association with predatory journals may question your judgment and expertise. This could limit your career opportunities, hinder your ability to secure funding, or even lead to legal issues if your work is found to be plagiarized or fraudulent. So, while the allure of quick publication and minimal rejection may seem appealing, it's crucial to consider the long-term implications. Publishing in predatory journals can do more harm than good to your academic career. So, what can be done to combat predatory journals? Well, there are several actions that can be taken to fight against these deceptive publications. One of the most effective methods is reporting them to regulatory bodies. These organizations have the power to investigate and take action against predatory journals, helping to protect researchers and uphold the integrity of academic publishing. Regulatory bodies, such as the Committee on Publication Ethics or the International Committee of Medical Journal Editors, can enforce penalties against predatory journals. They can also provide guidance and resources to researchers, helping them steer clear of these deceptive practices. In addition to reporting, raising awareness within the academic community can be an incredibly powerful tool. By educating others about the dangers of predatory journals, we can help create a more informed community of researchers. This includes sharing information about how to identify predatory journals, their deceptive tactics, and the dangers of publishing in them. But what happens when a predatory journal's website is taken down? Does that solve the problem? Well, it's a step in the right direction, but it's not a complete solution. The individuals behind these journals may simply start up a new one under a different name. This is why continuous vigilance and awareness are so crucial. Taking down a predatory journal's website does have significant effects, though. It disrupts their operations, makes it more difficult for them to deceive researchers, and sends a clear message that these practices are unacceptable. However, it's important to remember that the fight against predatory journals isn't a one-time battle. Protecting yourself from predatory journals is paramount. Investigate the journal's reputation, previous publications, and editorial board members. Reputable journals are indexed in databases like PubMed, Scopus, or Web of Science. While legitimate open-access journals often charge article processing fees, exorbitant fees without transparent explanations are a concern. Ask colleagues and mentors for their opinions on the journal in question. It's an ongoing effort that requires the participation and vigilance of the entire academic community. We must continue to report predatory journals, educate others, and stay informed about new tactics and deceptive practices. Remember, the best defense against predatory journals is awareness and vigilance. Stay informed and protect your research. Thank you for watching this eye-opening revelation. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and never compromise on the authenticity of your research. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Together we can navigate the complex world of academic publishing. Stay curious, stay informed. Until next time.